Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another exciting episode of This Is Our Life. I hope this video uploads. We are
bored crazy.
Bored crazy. This modem works sometimes and not other times, and sometimes it partially works.
It barely does anything.
And I'll make a video and it won't upload. Sometimes it'll stop in the middle. I try to just post something on Facebook, and it won't post. I try to send messages on Facebook. Can't send. It's frustrating. Anyway, what I wanted to say in this episode is about Syria, and first of all, we already know for a fact that the people using the chemical weapons in Syria are the rebels and not the Syrian government. Second, something like 9% of the American people support a war against Syria, but that number will actually increase because you have a lot of idiots that are in the United States that are just going to fall for the propaganda that is all over the TV and radio and internet. And it's going to go from 9% to 15% to 30% and so forth and so on. So yeah, there will be a war against Syria. And there will be a large portion, probably a majority of the American people supporting it in the end, even though, there's this thing about Ed Asner and I forget the other guy, he was in the TV show MASH.
Alan Alda?
No, not Alan Alda, one of the other guys. They said, they're like, oh, we're pro-peace, but we don't want to say anything because if we say anything, that'll mean we're anti-black because Obama's black. What? What are you, idiots? It has nothing to do with skin color. You're either pro-peace or you're pro-war, and by not speaking up, you're pro-war. We have some really crazy people in this country. But, I mean, my main point is just that there will be a war against Syria, and the majority of the American people will wind up supporting it, even though right now the majority of the American people do not support it. By the way, Spain, Madrid did not get the Olympics, which is kind of
freaking Japanese.
The Japanese and Turks, was it?
I don't know.
So I'm like, but I don't remember where World Cup's going to be held next time.
I can't send it to you.
Oh.
Don't look at it.
We took pictures with my phone, and my phone doesn't have internet. And you can't even send the pictures to my wife's phone, and then for her to send them to my email. So let's see. Is that it? That's about it. Yeah, I called this idiot. I don't know if you can read that number, I guess not. Yeah, I urge anyone and everyone to call and talk to Curtis or Angelica. The number is 210-735-8767. Angelica Ramirez or Curtis Mountain, whatever. Santa Fe Place Apartments, slumlords, roach infested. Curtis is also a drug addict and a drug dealer.
I thought you liked him.
Lots of drug dealers in the complex, so if you want to live someplace where there's cheap drugs, this is where you go. A lot of drunks as well. Although right now I could use a drink. We ain't got no money, and even if we did, it'd have to go for some other things like gas and food. Because we don't have eggs, milk, or cheese. And those are like 3 things we need. But yeah, this is in San Antonio, and the water main is constant. The water is constantly being turned off because of something wrong with the water main. But yeah, Curtis likes to let women take the fall for him. Definitely not a man. Man would not do that. But anyway, so and Kat, you want to come up? Yeah, we're around. You want to come up early next month? And you were asking if we could still get you the train ticket. I don't know if we can get you a train ticket right now, sweetie.
Right now is a hard time.
Yeah, and it may be for another few months. We don't
know what's going on.
Yeah, we don't know what's going on. And you know one of the issues. And we also have this thing about medicine. They're not giving my wife her scripts. I'm like, I mean, that's like a necessity, yet they're not giving them to her. I don't understand this. And we have the same doctor, but
she's being weird.
Yeah, but the doctor will give me my psych scripts, but not her, not my wife. I don't get that, but I mean, I just.
She's screwed up.
So, anyway, and guess what we did? We listened to a 1975 LP, Helen Reddy's Greatest Hits. We listened to side A. And no, I didn't put the new needle in. It already has a needle in there.
Oh, it does?
Yeah. And so we don't know if the new needle is going to work yet or not, because we haven't tried to put it in. I don't want to take it out yet. I don't want to take the old one out yet because I don't want to break anything. They used to be easy. You just popped them in and out. I mean, but this is an older model, not a newer model.
Does this have the brush on the thing to get the dust?
No. That would be nice, wouldn't it?
It should be on there, really.
And another thing, Kat, before you come up here, what we want to do is order like a case of Bambinos for you. So they're here for when you get here. We're thinking maybe, I don't remember what they call the sample case maybe, where you get 3 or 4 or 5 different styles. You know, but then we have some things for you to play with and stuff, but we don't have a lot right now. And on Facebook, there's somebody in your town, by the way, who recently went through a fire, and they're doing like a fundraiser for her. We don't have any money to provide to the fundraiser, but we have some things. If somebody's willing to come pick them up and mail them down there, we have a few things that they can have, like that stand mixer. I mean, I don't use it, and it's not very powerful. Actually, the hand mixer we have is a little more powerful than the stand mixer, which is kind of sad, especially considering that the hand mixer is probably just as bad as old. And we have a plastic colander, because I don't like plastic, I prefer metal. So I use the metal colander, so they can have the plastic colander. And they have she has a 9-year-old son. It's a single mom with a 9-year-old son in Dallas, Fort Worth, Arlington, that area. But anyway, so I'm going to end this video before it just ends on me. They better come Monday.
Or we're going to kill them.
Yeah, because my wife can't get online.
I'm bored to pieces.
Yeah, and sometimes I can. I mean, it took me a while today to get this going. Probably took me a couple of hours to get this going. And don't ask me what I'm doing to get it connected, because I don't know.
Beating it with a hammer.
Yeah, it either connects or it doesn't. Yeah, it's like, gosh.
Doesn't it out, right?
Yeah, so we're going to get you up here, baby girl, but we just...
You would be more comfortable on Amtrak and probably have a better...
Yeah.
I don't know. I've never been on Amtrak before, but I don't think you'd be so crammed in with all the Assholes.
You'll probably be able to get some sleep. Probably have better company than Greyhound. But yeah, that's how we want to get you up here. The thing is,
because you don't want to know about my trip down there.
Yeah.
I wound up with some stupid Mexican with his head leaned so far back that I basically had his head in my lap. I couldn't even read a book if I wanted to. I was about ready to kick his ass.
And see, we would have to go over to Manch to pick you up. And if I remember correctly, you'll have to take the bus from Boston.
Concord, maybe?
Oh, Concord. Yeah, we can go and pick you up in Concord.
Concord's not very
that's
bad traffic.
Yeah, we can go pick you up in Concord.
Just kind of confusing.
Yeah, because it's a big city.
Yeah, right.
For what
Is it the capital?
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's not that big.
Yeah, but the streets are pretty well.
It's kind of odd.
Yeah, we went there once. But you have to understand the government up here is not like.
I was seeing that too.
Yeah, the government up here is different. It's small. Government's small up here. You take care of everything in the town hall. You don't have to go to the county office or to the state office. Almost everything is taken care of right there at the town hall. And the state legislator, they get paid basically $1 or something like that, plus expenses like travel expense. You know, it takes 3 hours to cross the state lengthwise.
Well, it depends on how much traffic there is too.
Yeah.
If you're on the Boston side, you might get killed.
Yeah. Actually.
It's not fun over there.
Yeah, what we hear is, we've been to, was it Nashville or Manch that we went to? That area. But we were talking to somebody the other day, and they were saying there's a lot of crime over in that part of the state.
It's the people that brought us their stuff. They live on the bad side of Man.
Oh, okay. Manch is Manchester, so you know. Now, if you came by autobus, by bus,
okay.
we could pick you up in Keene if they're still going to Keene, because they were going to stop that at once.
I don't think they did though.
Well, at one point they were going to stop it, then they decided either they started it again or they decided not to stop it, or maybe they stopped it now. I don't know. But of course, you could take the train to Boston.
Oh God, you don't want to do that.
Yeah, and then you could take the bus. That might be a bit confusing though.
That would be hard.
Yeah. But anyway,
a mess.
We're gonna get you up here, okay? It's just, I hope you understand. Right now, we're
scraping bottom.
Yeah, and it's probably gonna be a few months before we can get back on our feet. Now, we don't have eggs, cheese, or milk.
Thanks to some asshole stealing
our card.
Well, they didn't steal the card. They just reported it as stolen.
Yeah, they reported it as stolen.
Like, you fucking prick.
And we paid $118 something for our electric bill, and next month we have to pay the whole thing on the internet bill, because if we don't, they're going to cut us off. And we didn't pay last month and we didn't pay this month on the internet, and we spent like $300 at Walmart, and we didn't have all that much stuff. One reason was because I got that griddle, and it's aluminum, not cast iron. Yeah, it's aluminum. I'm like, for $35.
Hard to find cast iron anymore.
Yeah. Now I was going to get a case of mason jars, but I put those back. That's how we store a lot of our food.
I tried logging to Facebook and I lost the network connection.
Oh.
On my phone.
And that's another thing about up here. You will not always have internet connection. You will not always have phone connection, because the mountains, the weather,
Yeah, if the mountain gets in the way, you're not going to be able to do anything.
Yeah, like when you drive from Troy to Keene, there are points where you will lose internet. I mean, you will lose
you'll
phone.
lose even the phone access.
Yeah, you will lose because the mountain blocks everything.
But in Troy, you can make a phone call. In Keene, you can make a phone call, but in between, it's hit and miss.
Yeah. So, let's see. Yeah, and see, the thing is about coming up here on the bus or the train's what, $10 more? I mean, come on, we can do the $10 more. Don't worry about that. And it would be more comfortable. I mean, for $10 more than the bus, you have a more comfortable, more enjoyable ride.
I know you may have to sit in certain areas and sit on the tracks and wait for the trains to like switch, because I think around, like when Mike was headed for Chicago, they had to wait for a freight train to come through before they could go through, so they had to sit like 2 or 3 hours out in the middle of a cornfield. But
another thing is, right now, if you came up right now, you would need
cold.
Yeah, you would need what, at least in South Texas and San Antonio, would have been winter clothing at night.
You would need a hoodie jacket or a zip-up jacket, like a fleecy thing.
Yeah, and maybe a hood, a cap,
hat.
I don't think you really need gloves right now, but in another month you will.
It'll be starting, not. We probably won't have snow next month, unless it all goes crazy again like it did that one year and it snowed on Halloween.
Yeah.
2 days before October 29th, it snowed like hell.
3 feet.
Yeah.
All at once, and that was pretty much
big pile.
Yeah, and the rest of the winter?
Nothing.
But then last year it was different. So.
And the kids did make it to trick-or-treating.
Oh yeah. And look, there's no real crime around here. And well, people speed through
when
town.
The cat chases the mouse and grabs him.
So you don't really see the police or town cop a whole lot.
And if he does, he'll probably talk to you.
Yeah, he's friendly. Now the new guy,
we don't know. We haven't encountered him yet.
I've seen him stop people. I'm like,
He might be one of these jerks.
Yeah.
What I've heard.
And that's. If he is, I'm surprised he's still working for the town. But then again, they're going to have a reason to get rid of him. But I mean, I've seen him stop people just walking down the street. Well, one person. I'm like, and people who speed through town. I don't know about the new guy, but Ellis, the old guy, he gives people warnings. And
I wish they would crack down on them.
Yeah, because that would actually stop people. If people wound up getting tickets where they had to pay, then they would decide,
Because they do fly through town, especially mass holes.
Yeah.
That's our code for Massachusetts people.
Now you can actually look mass hole up. It's actually...
Yeah, it does.
It exists. It's a word or a term or whatever that exists, so... Another thing I realized is I'm going to have to get a set of screwdrivers and monkey wrenches, because our screwdrivers are the hit and miss kind of thing.
Kind of crack.
Yeah, and sometimes you need a specific size screwdriver, not just a Phillips head or a flathead, but a specific size that will fit the screw properly. And I realized once we got the bag sort of tool bag instead of a toolbox. So we have a bucket, a box, and a bag now. And I was sorting it, and thankfully now I can kind of organize everything. And the screwdrivers, it's a hit and miss thing. We have a few of these, we have a few of those. But some of them are like you have to put the bit in there. And
interchangeable.
Yeah, and we don't have all the bits, and
I don't like those interchangeable ones because they're not the sturdiest. They're
not.
Stay.
So we have to.
I just want regular old screwdrivers.
Yeah. So, and I also don't want to get a cheap pair of screwdrivers. I want to get a decent pair. Does that mean we're going to get them next month? Probably not, but...
Well, you can watch in Walmart, you know how they do.
Yeah, actually Walmart does have some good stuff. You just,
low cost.
You just have to look, you know. And like, I don't know how much that tool bag costs, $10, $15, which is a lot of money for us, especially 15. And we didn't do any food prepping purchases.
We didn't have the money to.
Yeah, we just didn't have the money. We bought no food. So, but hopefully that EBT card will come in like any day. And I better end this because it's over 20 minutes long, and I don't want it to just go kaput on me.
Hope it uploads.
So bye bye.